What's up guys? Today we're going to check out 1993's Tombstone on 4K Blu-ray. I'm not here to talk about how good or bad this movie is. I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the audio and video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot on 35mm. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated R. Runtime is 130 minutes. Aspect ratio is 235:1, and the audio is in DTS HD 5.1. So no new Dolby Atmos mix here. Now, before we get into the video, if you want to grab this movie on disc, you can find a link down below in this video's description along with the equipment that I use for these movie reviews. I do not use a TV or soundbar. Well, this has a 5.1 mix and it does sound like it came from the 90s, so it isn't overly dynamic or full of atmospheric detail. Some of the effects like the gunshots and the dialogue can come across flat, and it does lean more on the front soundstage. However, there are some spots with aggressive surround usage. The shootouts get a healthy dose of bullets in the side speakers, and the thunderstorms crackle hard throughout the room. There were a couple of times that I heard a horse and carriage trot along from left to right surround channels, so there are moments of clever surround movement. Bass response was strongest during the thunderstorms, and there's a deep rumbling of bass around the 1:10 mark. Other than that, there's not much that's going to put your subs to heavy use. The only issue that I had was with the center channel volume. When I got the volume set to where the dialogue was comfortably loud and easy to understand, once the action would kick in or if the music started to play, it would sound as if every channel was mixed a few dB hotter than the center, and it could easily drown out the center channel. So if you were watching this movie late at night and you turned down the volume to where the action scenes weren't going to wake up your kids, once the action stopped, the center channel would be way too soft. And if I upmixed this movie using Neural X, I had even more channels that overpowered the center speaker. So for me personally, I think watching this in 5.1 is the better way to go. As for the video quality, this is where the big upgrade comes from. This is a fresh new scan of the original negative in Dolby Vision and HDR10, and at times it can look like a movie that was shot today. There were some shots that looked as good as the recently released Death of a Unicorn, so you will see very fine detail with a mild to strong level of film grain. If you're not a fan of film grain, then you might not like the way this movie looks. But yes, close-ups can be extremely detailed, enough to count all of Curly Bill's very large pores. The costumes have really nice textural details, and a lot of the exterior shots, especially the clouds, have excellent gradational refinement due to the higher resolution and the use of HDR. It's a major improvement if you've only seen the 1080p Blu-ray. Specular highlights from interior lighting, gunshots and flames also have a very nice level of vibrancy. The color palette is natural, albeit somewhat subdued, but more saturated over the standard disc. There's more detail in the darker lit scenes, so you'll be able to see deeper into the saloons and any nighttime shot. It's got some areas where detail is lost in the shadows, but that's most likely due to how the movie was filmed. So if you are a fan of this movie, this is a worthwhile upgrade over the poorly over-sharpened 1080p Blu-ray from years ago. The detail looks fantastic for most of the movie, with some soft shots here and there, and the HDR isn't gonna scorch your eyeballs, but it does up the level of saturation and gives the image some added depth. So I'm gonna go with a 9 for video. Audio-wise, it sounds like it's of its time. My major issue was with the center channel being on the quieter side, but other than that, it's a pretty average, I'd say 5.1 channel mix, so I'm gonna go with a 6.8 for audio. So what are your thoughts on this new 4K transfer of Tombstone? Have you seen it, and do you even like the movie? Leave your thoughts down below and let me know. Now, if you do want to grab this movie, I will leave some links for it down below in this video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you again in the next video.